Yogyakarta is a university town surrounded by lush rice paddies and villages. It is known as the epicenter of fine arts and culture in Indonesia. On May 27, 2006, an earthquake shook the region of Yogyakarta. It measured 6.2 on the Richter scale and rendered 350,000 homes uninhabitable. 5,800 people were killed. 1.2 million people were left homeless. Homes were reduced to rubble. Families lost everything. This is Umiyatan. She has 4 girls.
Jatuh, mau ngambil sepeda nggak bisa. Lari pulang, anak-anak udah nyemput di sana. Iya.
As the ground beneath her rumbled loudly, she tried to get home to her children but kept falling to the ground. She was 8 months pregnant. Her children ran from their home crying and looking for their mother.
Mama, gitu aja.
I ask Umiyatan whether her newborn baby's arrival makes her feel hopeful for the future.
Ya nggak ada apa-apa. Tidak merasa gimana? Ya susah, nggak bisa, ya susah sekali.
For Umiyatan, her ambitions are like any other mother's, that her children have a good life. I ask her what she needs most.
Perabotannya masih ada kalau perabotannya. Sepeda tuh nggak bisa pakai. Mau sekolah aja jalan kaki. Kadang nunut temannya gitu loh.
Sumila is a mother of a young child as well. Putra is a year and a half and cannot fall asleep indoors because he is still so traumatized by the earthquake. Sumila must have him fall asleep outside in the open air, and then she tucks him in.
Sebelum gempa ya agak kurang sedikit gitu selama.
Sumila's temporary shelter is on the site of her former home. This was her kitchen. This was her living room.
Kehidupannya susah sekali. Mau bikin rumah nggak punya biaya karena itu pakai biaya sekolah masih kurang.
For many families who lost everything, the needs are very basic. For the immediate future, it comes down to the essentials: shelter, food, and clean water.
In the aftermath of a natural disaster, health and hygiene are of paramount importance. Here in Yogyakarta, after the earthquake, the incidences of diarrhea, skin disorders, and acute respiratory infections went up 30 to 40%.
Dari gempa, terus sama ini karena cuaca kemarau, ya. Karena banyak debu.
This is a posyandu, or community health clinic. Once a month, villagers bring their babies to have them monitored for growth. CARE provides funding for these posyandus to immunize babies, get their weight checked, and then go home with food. Sri is a volunteer health carer. She tells us about the importance of weighing babies.
Turun naik atau peningkatan berat badan anak, kita tahu anak kita sehat.
At another posyandu in a neighboring village, the midwife holds the clinic in her own home. CARE funds the activities and supplies. These children are having a snack of mung bean porridge and reading about hygiene. Waterborne diseases like diarrhea can become deadly, especially for small children under the age of 5. 50 to 80% of groundwater was contaminated as a result of the earthquake, so it must be boiled or purified. Air Rahmat is a simple, cheap water purification system that CARE is distributing for free. Along with the distribution, there are demonstrations, with the most important lesson being that drinking unpurified water will lead to illness. These villagers are sent home with Air Rahmat packets and information. But it takes more than water to survive. Many people who were already just scraping by before the earthquake have now lost everything. Many have no way to earn a living or to feed their families. To help, CARE has distributed vouchers that can be redeemed for food at local markets. This not only helps families put food on the table, it helps support the local merchants who depend on their jobs to feed their families as well. The distribution of vouchers is facilitated by young volunteers. Vouchers are redeemed in neighborhood stores. Families get staples such as sardines, mung beans, and rice. The rebuilding of a community takes time and energy, but most of all, resources. The work of aid organizations like CARE always depends on these resources. They can only continue as long as the international support is there. The hardship of homelessness, however, doesn't end until Umiyati, Sumila, and Putra find a way to rebuild what they once had.